Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your shoulders. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your shoulders. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Try to relax your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your shoulders. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your shoulders. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your anus. Your anus. Your shoulders. Your anus. Your shoulders. Your anus. Your shoulders. Your anus. Your shoulders. Try to relax your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your shoulders. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your shoulders. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Try to relax your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your shoulders. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your shoulders. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your anus. Your anus. Your shoulders. Your anus. Your shoulders. Your anus. Your shoulders. Your anus. Your shoulders. Try to relax your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your shoulders. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your shoulders. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Try to relax your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus.
Oh, the mic's been on the whole time, huh? Oh, the mic is on. Lord Silly Nipples. What's up, everybody? Yes, I know I'm early today. Billy Mays' cocaine addiction. Billy Mays here. Man, what happened to my voice there? I sound like if Billy Mays was fucking 13. Billy Mays here. Keep my bird's name out of your fucking mouth. What's up, Jacob? What's up, everybody? What's up, John? What's up, Billy Mays' cocaine addiction? It's so wrong, but so funny. I just passed the 100-hour mark. I'm at almost 50 hours in Elden Ring. I beat Godric, which fucking pisses me. I didn't even mean to beat him. I wanted to kind of beat him on stream. But I was like, I'm tired. I'm just going to try it for the hell of it, see what happens again. And I ended up, I'm like, fuck. I beat him. I fucking beat him. So after that, I just grinded for a bunch of ruins right out of... There's that secluded cell right out of where you fight Godric, and there's a giant right there. So I just kept killing him and getting like 1,200 ruins. So I'm at level 40 strength. Close to level 40 with vigor, which isn't huge, but still, like, it kind of... I'm just, like, tanking my way through the game like an idiot because I'm, like, all overpowered and unbalanced and shit. Now I need to get my magic up because I got this shield with spikes on it. And it uses magic, but it's a good melee attack, too. When you hit the left trigger, it hits the enemy, then, like, knocks him over with, like, a gust of wind. So I was in this real weird area that I knew I had, like, the rats were giving me a tough time. There is a Mr. Masucci. That's Todd. That's his secret name. I bought Shakiro. After playing this. Godric the Grafted. Yeah, the whole thing with him. He grafted the dragon arm on him in the second half of the battle, too, and grafting. Like, the birds have grafted. Like, there's a whole lore with grafting and... Shit, what's up from Taiwan? Yes, I know people were messaging me about Quantum TV saying that, well, because I watch Vosh, that obviously means that I'm a pedo, according to him. All I'll say to the AV community, just... don't engage with it. I'm even not gonna, at least on my main channel anyway, I'm not gonna make any more videos about him. The guy's fucking nuts. He swears that he wants to move on from this, but he's the one keeping it going because this is probably the most relevant he's felt on this platform in his life. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I can't believe I put fucking 50 hours. And it's not even, like, usually I don't stay up. 99% of the time I don't stay up late gaming, but I know it's like, I have my Pro Controller next to my bed. Or not the Pro Controller, the Xbox Elite Controller, which is already... Another one is already starting to get rickety. Microsoft, what the hell are you building these... And I take care of my controllers. I take care of them. I wash my hands before I use them. I put it back in the case when it's done. Like, I feel one of the sticks when I'm moving the analog stick. I hear a thump. I feel a thump, I mean to say. I don't... Well, maybe hear and feel. I feel the thump. Anyway. They're shit. I'm never buying. This feels more sturdy. The base controller than their Elite. Why? I knew I had this on the wrong ear. You know how I knew? The cord keeps rubbing. It's a big-ass shield. I'll show it to you later. Yeah, and the thing is, what am I going to do? People are like, sue him. Sue him for what? Like, I've heard rumors, like, he lives in, like, a storage garage. Like, what am I suing him for? That's a rumor. It probably isn't true, okay? But my point being is that, what am I going to do? You know, anyone with a brain is going to know that I'm not a pedophile. It's, like, and the whole thing with Vosh has been debunked. It was a really bad way to make a hot take talking about all child exploitation. I've talked about that before. But even, God forbid, if Vosh was. And that's like saying I had a barbecue with my next door neighbor and they find out he had, like, child porn on his computer. Oh, that, but it definitely mean Rich has child porn, too. It's Such a stupid fucking... Like, really? Guilty by association? That's what you had? Whoa, man, you got me. You know? Oh, Jeff. Oh, man. I've punched a keyboard before if it feels better, but it was like $20, not $200. Speaking of Elite Controller, I got mad at Elden Ring and threw my Elite Controller in the pool outside my apartment. Oh, God. Bro, Jeff, there was a spot. It's like... It's where I got that weird-ass shield. I knew I had no business being there yet, but probably because I'm so weirdly leveled up that I kind of sort of survived it. The rats were kicking. It's funny, the rats, there's these blue minotaurs. Those are actually easier than the rats because the rats are so fucking fast. I have that... I got somber stones. Oh, God, I'm such a nerd. I actually know all the terminology, too. I still don't know what to do with cookbooks, though. I have a bunch of them, and I don't know what to do with them. I got to figure that out, which I'm sure the chat will call me a smooth brain asshole and tell me what to do. But I went through, like, there was those things that look like caterpillars that explode if you go near them, and you got to run through, and then there's these two big-ass minotaurs there, I think. They're blue again. I'm going to read all the super chats in a second. There's a whole bunch that came in. I saw them. And I know there's some that I missed. So, I killed those. On horse, they're pretty... I mean, and like I said, my that horse sentinel weapon, I got a couple somber stones with it, so it's pretty powerful, and I took them down. And then there was just some... It was like... God, I feel like I'm doing a guide. But where those exploding caterpillar things are. I know, it's amazing. I'm going to talk about the notification thing, and I'm going to read the super chats. And then there was, I killed some, or no, there was just a corpse there. You see the little light coming out of it. And it had this shield with spikes on it. I'm like, oh, what the fuck is this? And I'm equipped it. And if you hit L trigger, it uses I gotta upgrade my magic a little more. It's not a magic character, but go to over Gales to get. You're gonna have to help me if you're here later, Jeffrey. If you're not, everyone has a life. I know people gotta do shit, but so I'm like, I'm this weird amalgamation of a character. I like it though. I like it a lot. It's fucking absolutely insane. How much I'm enjoying, because it's exactly, I've been saying this for years. Some of you guys who are OGs here know, and it is exactly what I thought. Now that I'm getting really into a Souls game, it is Castlevania. It looks like a Castlevania game. I went back and played the Demon Souls remaster too. I'm probably going to want to fuck with that in the future. Feels like a Castlevania game. Anyway, super chats. I know I missed a bunch because I'm an asshole. Oh, by the way, I got bad news for people that were hoping. Both of the winners, thank God we're in the States, and both have given me their email addresses. And to the person I first thought who was fake that wasn't, I apologize to you. I misread your email. I mean, I had the right notes, but I misread your email. So I got them. And they're going out tomorrow. I am having UPS package them because I am going to insure them. And if anything happens, it's UPS's fault, not mine. Fuck you, UPS. I know why you... Good call. You got... See, I'm not being sarcastic like 3 for 3. That is fucking Eagle Eyes. Here's why you see it. Holy shit, man. That was a good catch. Seriously. Fuck. That was because I didn't have my... See, I got to figure out how to... Because in OBS Studio, it would click your screens to the aspect ratio. It doesn't automatically do that, at least unless I turn on a setting, I'm sure. So, I'm going to have UPS pack them. They're going to go out tomorrow. And anyway, let me get to the... Billy... So, keep my birds. I got that one. I got the BenQ monitor. Now, PM me. How do you feel about it? Did you use it yet? I think it's amazing. They're like, hey, we'll send you a monitor. And then, like I said, in exchange, they're like, could you do this, like maybe an affiliate link? And I'm like, cool. I love BenQ stuff. They have the best built-in sound. I have a BenQ monitor right here. This one's 1440p, but it's still... I will say, just to keep it real, I don't think the size with the size that you don't really even need the 4K unless you want the extra screen real estate. But it is a beautiful monitor, great picture, great sound. Hey, Rich, can I get a shout out to Sandra, my Aunt Sandy? She passed away today after a 17-year battle with cancer. Jesus, man. 17 years? I mean, I'm sorry to hear that she passed away, but in a silver lining, that's a hell of a... Hopefully she wasn't suffering for a lot of that. I'm going to bring up a point that I saw. I was almost going to make a video on this, but I know it's going to be very... Well, like I give a shit about people being very... If I cared about being divisive, I would have stopped years ago, but... There's a lot of streamers that are like, I don't want people to bring their negativity here, but I'm like, life happens. You know what I mean? Yeah, Maxwell. At first I thought, because I thought the address that you had on your about page was max dot whatever. And then the person, I'm like, is someone really... Because people have done that to me before, Max. People have done that to me before. Not to go 180 with subjects, but I saw his chat in the description. There was a guy who pretended to be me to try to get free cards from NVIDIA, and they almost tricked him. They came to me and like, yeah, did you ask us for a review sample? I'm like, no. They're like, yeah, someone's pretending to be you and trying to get free graphics cards from us. I'm like, okay, it's not me. But, like, we'll send you one to the review. And then they did. So, basically, someone trying to steal from NVIDIA, pretending to be me, got me a review unit for a graphics card. So... I mean, that ended well, but it does happen. And people will go all out to pretend. I'll give you a grandpa. Yeah, I'll give you a grandpa. Do I have grandpa excited on here still? I should. I can't find grandpa excited. I know I have it here. I'll give you a spread your
cheeks.
Actually,
and just go to town.
It's a big-ass shield. If I take my helmet off, I believe with the Horse Sentinel's weapon, which I upgraded with 2 Somber Stones, I don't fat roll. Fat roll. It sounds like something you get at like a bodega deli as like a sandwich. I will never buy a Samsung Quantum.TV. I'll never buy... LG TVs again. I've had too much bad luck with them. So it's a big ass shield. And yeah, but that's how I felt, John. So anyway, let me get back to what I was saying before I lose my train of thought. People express their problems during a stream because it's a stressful time in their life and they need to escape. So I look at it different. I wouldn't ever turn down someone who is having problems in their life and they need to vent. I think that's kind of cold and callous too. It's okay. People could say it. That's a good argument. Rich, this is kind of like a radio show, but I'm interacting with the audience. People are in the chat, super chat, or saying things. It's not a show like that, and to just say, oh, your problems are not my problems, so piss off. It's like, no, man. Like, oh, you're bringing it. No. Let me say that better. You're bringing everyone else down. Dude, life can be terrible, and you're here to communicate with your audience and bad things happen. I mean, look at that other, they made it public. There was that other subscriber of mine who super chats that their brother may have killed, I believe, the chatter's brother may have killed his girlfriend. And I could kind of sense when people are, there's also, you got to just, over time, you start to realize, like, this person's just trying to take over the chat, and this person's just having a genuine problem and needs to vent. And 99% of the people are just having genuine problems and need to vent. I don't agree with that. Oh, keep your problems. Like, man, all right, so then just turn off your super chats then. Turn off your chat. Make it members only then if you don't want to deal with it. That's just... Or don't stream. Just make videos then. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like I am getting a little pissed off at that because I think it's stupid. I think it's kind of callous too. And and a lot of times these streamers and YouTubers are the same people. When they're having a problem, they'll be the first to press a button on their camera and cry about it. You know? That's what bothers me too. It's like, yeah, I don't want to hear your problems, but I have an audience. So, and I'm not saying this person would have done that. I don't know them, but I've seen other people do it. It's like, so wait, you have no problem putting the weight of your problems on your audience's shoulders, but they can't talk about. I don't think that's the real DSP, is it? You know, I don't know. I just think that was. I mean, some people like Rich, you don't get it. It derails the stream. There's a lot of people that disagree with me on that, but that's just me. Who knows? Maybe I'll change in the future, but I've been doing this for quite a long time and I haven't. Well, dude, and I take care of my control. I know I talked to you about this before, Jeffrey. And I know I answered Susha about that shield, and like I said, if you're still here, you'll see it later. If you come back in the stream, you'll see it later. I take care of the fucking controller. I don't get it. And they're the only controller. My son beats the hell out of his Joy-Cons, and I will say his Joy-Cons haven't gotten drift on him. He's always playing like Minecraft and Fortnite on his and that was a refurbished Switch too. The only thing I'll say is that one of the Joy-Cons doesn't lock on as good as it used to, but I don't even think that's that may just be normal wear and tear because he beats the hell out of the thing. Can we watch Fritz's video? Alex, I've seen a few videos. They were so funny bits I think you will love. You got to send it to me. Yeah. We're going to watch now. Oh, wow. We're at 500 fucking people already in the middle of the afternoon. Okay. Let me get GamerFromMars up here. I'm going to read the super chats. DBZ, I missed your super chat. That one I talked about already. I'm very sorry to hear about your aunt. My Elite controller broke after I dropped it once in the carpet, and my normal controller's been thrown across. Dude, you know what I think it is? Because they have all the interchangeable parts, and they have it where you could change how much throw the analog triggers have. And with all those moving parts, you just like, I hear things creaking after a while. It's like, you can't make this thing right. Don't make it at all. They're not durable. It's not like, I mean, I've put more use into it since I've been playing Elden Ring, but it's not like I'm beating the hell out of the thing. It's not, for the money they're asking for that, man. It's unacceptable. I want to see Rich rage at Elden Ring and killed. I was getting pissed when the rats were. Holy shit! There is a lot of super chats here. It wasn't that I was missing them. I'm just going slow. I was getting my ass kicked by rats. Chuck, Chris, and Gilbrand are Richie's senators, folks. Yeah, they're fantastic too. But you mentioned that in doing it, anthropomorphic animals is wrong. Well, in Mass Effect, you do it with aliens. Is that wrong? It's a video game.
Try to relax your anus.
I'm talking about a whole bunch of shit. We went from talking about how there's streamers that don't want their audience to bring negativity, like if they're having a bad day or if a relative passes or whatever happens. I've heard some crazy shit. They don't want people to talk about it during the stream. They say it derails the stream. I give my respect and talk about it real quick, and then I'll go on to the next. And it's not that I'm moving on from it to try to get away from it. You got to learn to handle being a streamer better. People are going to, it's life. If UPS is giving you trouble, set the bird. They're fine. I kind of like them better than FedEx, Oh, damn, there goes my chance of a FedEx sponsorship. The commanding officer, thank you very much. Watch Back to the Future recently. Boy, we were wrong about 2015. Well, dude, you got to remember, man, in 85, when did that movie come out? 85, I think. We were in the middle of Reagan. 2015 may as well have been like 4022. It just seemed, even the year 2000 in 1985 just seemed like, oh my God, the year 2000 just seemed like such a futuristic year, So everyone had this speculation. Holy shit. We're going to bang out these super chats and then we'll get to the video. Hey, Rich, love your channel so much. I think you and Mischief should collab and take down. Dude, I don't want to. Look. Let whatever happens on YouTube with him happen. I said my piece. I'm not going to flag his fucking channel. I have every fucking right to, and I'm not going to. I don't care. You know, anyone who believes that from that stupid fucking video they believe the allegations he made against me are probably going to unsubscribe to me because I'm going to piss them off anyway, and they're just looking for a reason to hate me. So if you have like above an 85 IQ, you're going to realize that it's a stupid fucking video. Hey, Rich, can I get a fart? A snort? And yes.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, that worked perfect. Man, working at UPS warehouse, man, I see all kinds of shit. My advice, put lots of tape and cushioning. I always do. I always do for that. Oh, dude, I've seen with my own eyes as they're delivering shit with me what they do to the boxes, John. It's insane. No, they don't care at all. They absolutely don't care. Oh, dude, I pack my stuff up where you could throw it off a fucking bridge. I just got 100% of the Elden Ring achievement this morning. 172 hours and so much exploring. I love this game. You and Boogie both seem to like it. Yeah, and again, it's not... It's like... I knew I was always going to like a Souls game eventually. I didn't know it was going to be Elden Ring. Like I said initially, I didn't give a shit about the game. When I was making the Quantum TV videos, I haven't even played it yet. I bought it, but didn't play it. And the other thing that's weird on top of it, too, is that it's a full-out open-world RPG, which usually I'm like, yeah, no. I think the thing that I like, too, is that you could always do something even if you don't have that much time. And that appeals to me, too. Or if you want to spend aimless hours in the game and just explore, you'll always find something new. So, yeah, I'm glad that basically Quantum TV is a piece of shit, because if it wasn't for him, I would have never tried the game. He indirectly... got me into Elden Ring. My brother's girlfriend's mom wants to sue the county because they weren't told about the warrant they got to bug their house. Speaking of which, I was just talking... Dude, you need to make like a novel about what's happening. I mean, it's your family, and I'm sure you have other things that you're worried about right now, but this is like something I would see in like a Hollywood movie. I'm sorry you're going through it. It's absolutely terrible, but it hurts my head when you talk about it, not in a bad way, but it's just incredible. I'm sorry it happened to you, and it's horrific, but it's mind-blowing. Apparently there's a restaurant in Toronto called Carlo's Chicken. Get the fuck out of here. You should go there if you're ever visiting the area. Also love the show, Rich. Yeah, that would probably be a decent view video, too. Holy shit, the super chats aren't stopping, which I'm not complaining. Josh the Jedi, thank you. I got the 4Q Ben one to replace my Asus broken one. Yeah, dude, it's amazing. The monitor's amazing. It's like, hey, we'll give you a monitor, just throw some links in your description. And usually I don't do that. 99% of the time, it's either, well, one, I won't take a payment if I'm reviewing it. If they send a sample product, and they like, you can keep the sample. Here, let me let you in on a secret with all that. Everyone's like, oh, you should get rid of the samples. All right, you come to my house with the samples that I have. You pack them up. Especially like, I remember there was a certain person, because I did a review of a Hisense TV, and the TV's great. I'm still using it in my fucking living room. Okay, they're like, oh, you got to keep the TV. Of course he's gonna give it a good review. What the fuck do you expect me to do with the 55-inch TV? You're gonna pay. Good luck. You ever see the box for a big flat screen TV? Good luck trying to put that back together, making it stay together, and getting it shipped back in one piece. Good luck with that. Tell me how it goes. Tell him how it goes. Like, give me a break. You DM me his video where on Twitter, Alex? I'll check it out. Steam Digital Store works better than PlayStation, Nintendo. Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. On the Steam Deck? I want the Steam Deck now just to play Elden Ring. Rich, you could stamp a mushroom on your forehead. Thank you. Yes, here. That's the bird. So, the commanding officer, you retracted the message, which is fine. Can I get a... Oh, yeah, of course you can.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't stream on Twitch now? I have a fiber. Because my audience is here. Especially now having a secondary. Dude, I've done a lot to build up this channel over the past year. I'm not moving again. And there's no reason to move again. My streams underperform. My streams underperform on Twitch anyway. People don't want to go over to Twitch. My penis is birds. Now since you're streaming, plays cheering noise. Ha! All right, so we will end at Nebs and we'll start the Gamer from Mars. What do I got to pay to watch you play Kirby? I'll play Kirby. I have Kirby for Switch. It's fucking amazing. It's a really good game. Speaking of Nintendo, what's your thoughts on them delaying Advance Wars because of the Ukraine war? I don't really think that makes sense. I mean, because it has war in the name? I'm not really even sure how that makes sense. It's like delaying Elden Ring coming out because they have the Ashes of War. It just, I don't know. Companies are very afraid that they'll piss off people because, again, like I said on Twitter, really selling a product is selling people on emotion. And everyone's afraid of pissing off people. Want an audio clip of Alex Jones? They're going to grab you by genitals now. Shortcut, he was ranting about Hunger Games movies. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I got to freshen up my soundboard. General Gorilla, thank you very much. I added some stuff like... No, that's not it.
I've got balls of steel.
And I brought this back.
My jaw's hitting the ground. My jaw's hitting the ground.
So I heard that Retro Bro is now anti-Amico. The same guy that was sitting there, like, ripping me apart, unfriended me on Facebook. It's so funny how all of them are realizing they have been had. You know, they learned a lesson now that I learned at, like, 22. And it's not that I'm smart or anything. Like, I was just in a situation where I got gaslit. You get promised the world, you buy into it, you're all amped about it, you're all excited about it. Tommy Tellerico is telling you that, you know, he's going to get his cousin who's the guitarist from Aerosmith to tongue your asshole, and you're thinking, holy shit, this guy's going to get my, you know, content creation career or whatever you want kickstarted. Surprise, he was just using you. You know, and now they're all seeing it. I'm whatever, man. Hopefully they all learn. Like, I see that Jeff learned a lesson. You know, and hopefully they learn from this that you have to call the regular. I'm not sure what you mean, Foilgrim, but the final part is so beyond warp and twisted. It feels like a reverse psychiatric experiment. Can you spam my jaws hitting the ground? Yes. If I can find it again. Here it is. Dude, I was listening to last night while I was farming runes in Elden Ring like a fucking piece of shit.
My jaw's hitting the ground. My jaw's hitting the ground.
There were just some things like I thought I knew a decent amount about the Chris Chan lore, but it like Art must have had the biggest headache putting that all together because it's like it doesn't make sense, but this is what happened. And there was some interesting stuff that was very telling about what his parents said to Chris. And Chris may, I kind of take back now somewhat that he may have just become transgender and now is a she because Chris Chan was just looking to get laid. I think he may have actually been trans his whole life, and he was suppressing it because he had two fucking weirdo nut job hoarding right-wing parents. You'll see when we watch. You'll see. Rick Jarvis was very funny at the Oscars. Yeah, he would roast the shit out of people. Yes, we already have another one in the works right now. We already have it in the works. If I could talk, we already have it in the works. Some of the stuff just came in the mail today. I'm actually pretty excited about it. So it's happening. I'll probably be starting to film and record it this week. How dare you criticize a non-existent scam console? And you know what's weird is that when you're from the outside looking in and you see what people were invested in, and you see that they were just being sold like a dream, and they were just it was just them being gaslit. It's amazing that you're like, wow, how do you not see this? Like, you're playing fucking mobile games on a controller that looks like a Microsoft Zune. You can't be that blown away.
My jaw's hitting the ground.
You can't be. I mean, maybe, and the thing about it too, what all went out the window with me. Holy shit, there's a lot of people here for this early in the day. Let me get the Chris Chan stream popped up. I can't talk right now. So let me, where it is Chris Chan documentary. Well, wow. The Golden Age, the downfall. All right, so let me Lord Silly Dipples. Billy Mays. Oh wait, shit, the Xbox is on. Let me you know, it's just amazing how this is what happens. This is why I will never want a bunch of yes men around me, even with my audience. Because when everyone's afraid to tell you what you need to hear and just tell you what you want to hear because they're just looking to appease you, this is what happens. Whether you're a content creator on YouTube, whether you're the CEO of a company, if you aren't told what you need to hear to fix things because your ego is too fragile to hear what you need to hear, and television amico is the result. You gotta listen to criticism. You gotta. If you're just looking for people to stroke your ego, man, you need to go see a shrink. End of discussion. Full stop.
Hello.
Sorry, I got kicked
Speaking of insanity, here we go.
out by the dogs.
Oh, it's absolutely fine.
Thank you for trying to keep them quiet for us. I'm sorry that you had to do that.
Okay.
No problem. Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Take care.
No, just trying.
It's just weird to see his mom and knowing what happens.
I kind of get a feel for, like, you know, just if you're on good terms with anybody from your past now, if there's anybody you still talk to. Or has it kind of just been you and your mom?
It's been mostly locally. It's mostly just been my mom and I mostly.
Mm-hmm.
We have other people we can contact and talk to, but other than that, yeah, it's pretty much her and I. Oh, and Magic Chan, Savannah Crizel, and everyone else that's in the yard.
It's crazy that they're still wearing the Sonichu pendant.
Right now. Hey, Alakazams, y'all on the roof, keep doing your good work. They're
On the roof over there?
Yeah. On the roof.
There's something that's said about Chris Chan's parents in this that I remember I was playing Elden Ring, like I said, when I was listening to this last night, and something that was said, I'm like, That explains a lot about Chris. That explains a lot. You'll see.
Roof everywhere. We got Pokemon all around in this yard. Yeah, I see them. I see beyond the Iron Curtain, which is just the barrier between our dimension.
All over, Abdullah. All over. Try fingers, butthole. Everywhere. I'm like, oh, what does this message say? Oh, they want me to finger my own ass.
Dimension 1218, and there are dimensions. See, we're nice and we're the majority of our OCs.
Someone said we're never going to finish this. Why the fuck do you think I'm starting it now? Because I got a lot to say, and there is a lot here. This is going to be like the 2 Schindler's List episodes of ReviewTechUSA with birds.
Exist and coexist. Every one of them.
Can you elaborate a bit more on that?
Like, you got Sonic the Hedgehog, Mario, Sonic, Kim Possible. Everybody is on that.
Now, someone told me something interesting about autism I did not know. They said that certain people who have autism can't control the volume of their voice. They speak louder. Concerts on Kid Rock's latest tour now feature a video message from Donald Trump, which is the only thing that could possibly make them. Hello, this is Chris Rock. Chris. What? This is Chris Rock? No, it's not. No. This is Kid Rock. I am Donald Trump. I am at his concert. I do have a bigger penis than Kid Rock. I measured it against his, and it isn't bigger, but I'm going to pretend it is because Marco Rubio is a piece of shit.
Side of the curtain. Iron Man, Batman, everybody! Their life exists, coexists in the same dimension. Mobius is Earth. Earth is Mobius. It's the same planet.
You know, there's so many thoughts I don't have it written down. So I just kind of have some sagas. Can you give, and I'll say them, and you can kind of just give your thoughts on them. Liquid Chris?
A double...
Liquid Chris. It's just like this weird fantasy that like a 13-year-old kid would put together, but unfortunately it's real, and then it has the most heinous ending that you would ever think from like the most horrid ending from a Silence of the Lambs movie. I'm not even trying to be funny about that, but it's true.
Ganger pretended to be me, and turns out he was just making fun, but I thought he was being serious. I thought he was trying to steal my identity, so I don't know why. I just thought, hey, let's do a singing competition to determine which of us was real and all that. And then I ended up meeting a woman friend of his who I thought was his girlfriend, and she thought that he was me, and I tried to straighten her out and do
very mentally ill.
that right. And then yada 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 yada.
But I'm gonna take back that Chris Chan became a transgender female because they were looking to get laid, because there's things in here that make me realize that Chris Chan may have always been transgender, and his parents they seem like from things that were said. You'll hear. Why am I even spoiling it? Let's just go. Well,
by 2010, Chris had endured over 2 years of non-stop trolling at the hands of the miscreants. This would be enough to burn anyone out on the internet, which seemed to be the case with Chris as he announced he would be taking a step back from online life. As per usual, this did not actually seem to be the case, as only a day later he posted a video babbling about the changing of a voice actor on The Cleveland Show.
Yeah, on The Cleveland Show, you know. I liked Nia Long a lot better as the voice of Roberta Tubbs. Her voice is just too high-pitched and just does not fit the character as best as Nia Long did.
In April, Chris created a profile for himself on OkCupid.
Oh no.
No. In an attempt to meet more sweethearts in real life rather than over the internet. He also created a profile on the website
Direct to sex. I remember hearing this last night, but I forgot. Direct to sex. Chris Chan just wants to fuck you. God, that's such a 2009 looking profile.
Hook Cafe, where he went by the name Direct to Sex.
I am an honest, compassionate gentleman. But I'll just indirectly admit that I made fantasy comic books about you because I secretly wanted to rape you and was trying to suppress my urges. I am looking for a good time / S multiple times if you actually want to see my penis more than once or even once with a woman. I'm not getting any younger. I would like a 28 to 28-year-old woman with a pretty face, a sexy and slim. Oh, really, dude? Come on. Slim to average body and an honest and compassionate personality. Show me your honest and sweet interest and love, and I'll show you a good time. How do you know, dude? You haven't even fucked at this point. Hit me up with an email with your photo and digits. And digits. Oh, he's getting slick, huh? Wonderful touch. Oh yeah, wonderful. And a wonderful touch feeling. With an email of your photo and digits, and I will respond quickly in suit. In suit. You're gonna respond in a 2-piece suit. Smokers, overweights, blacks, and lie. Really? Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right.
As many noted at the time, Chris now seemed less concerned with starting a relationship.
Yes, because between his autism and mental illness, Chris Chan doesn't know if they're coming or going. I said years ago, and Blockbuster Critic years before me, and I was saying it for a long time. Blockbuster Critic was screaming from the mountaintops, "This is not gonna end well." And everyone's like, "Oh, dude." Everyone that kind of thought Blockbuster Critic was a troll. No, he wasn't. He's just a dick like me. He wasn't a troll. He was right. He was right about some people who were like the diehard Sonic fans, too. Some of them ended up being pedos, and he called them out before they were caught as being pedos. It's just when you see the red flags, I'm not going to say the red flags aren't there. To be fair, I know a bunch of people who aren't autistic and talk to you like you're all the way across the room. Yeah, me too. I didn't troll Chris Chan. He didn't troll me either. He made videos on the Chris Chan insanity. I made a couple videos on Chris Chan when they went into the GameStop and pepper sprayed somebody. Who said that? Wasn't that Spoonie who said something on Twitter? And he got canceled before, like, being canceled was a thing, where he said that to, like, someone else on Channel Awesome. He was going to, like, tie him up and, like, dude, yeah, don't say that.
Than he was with losing his virginity as soon as possible. Trolls quickly discovered these accounts and began spamming them with new fake identities, attempting to create another successful catfish. Chris Chan's accounts were eventually terminated due to the overwhelming number of trolls messaging him, but one managed to slip through the cracks and establish communication, a woman by the name of Jackie Rami. Just as those that preceded her would do, Jackie didn't hesitate to use Chris's obsession with sex to pique his interest. Their conversations became risque.
Now, are these drawings that Chris Chan did? I have to ask Art.
Almost immediately, with Chris asking her about her previous experience and if she had any
Hi, yeah, I want to just know if you ever had butt sex before.
STDs, along with him admitting that he himself was still a virgin. Also, like past trolling expeditions, this woman attempted to use Chris's interest in her to get him to create more embarrassing videos. Specifically, she wanted Chris to seductively lick an ice cream cone in order to demonstrate the way he could pleasure her.
Yeah, I paused Elden Ring when I heard that.
The sexually inexperienced man was hesitant though, as it seemed he may have learned something resembling a lesson after all the times he had been tricked before. This caution did not last though, as once Jackie asked Chris to prove his dedication to her after she discovered his
The worst thing Chris Chan's parents could have done was let him have a computer and a webcam.
Previous infidelity to Ivy.
How do you pause? Yeah, well, all right. I was on my horse and looked at the screen and was like, holy shit. I know you can't pause, or I would go to a site of grace.
He quickly sent a video titled...
How do you pause Elden Ring? You can't pause Elden Ring. Exposed. They are right, though. I can't pause the game.
For JR's eyes only, doing exactly what she asked, except without the ice cream cone.
Oh, and here's the fun part. I can roll my tongue.
Oh, no. Okay.
I put it in there. And extend it while it's in there.
In addition...
Can I give dating advice? Don't send any woman a video of you doing that. No, you can't. Sully, no, you're right. You can't pause. Sorry, you can't pause. So I would be on my horse, and just next thing I would say, Lord Silly Nipples wanted to stick his fist up Chris Chan's ass, and Chris Chan let him. What?
To this video, Jackie also requested Chris to finally confront Michael Snyder, the manager of Chris's old favorite hangout spot, The Game Place. Christian had harbored a grudge against Snyder after receiving a lifetime ban from his store.
I think this Chris Chan documentary was my biggest challenger in fucking Elden Ring last night because he kept distracting me out of shot.
Back in 2008, but had never acted on it. It seemed...
By the way, I have a link to GamerFromMars' channel below in the description. I'll do a boilerplate answer to that. Well, I gave him a second chance. He is the guy who actually said ReviewTechUSA, so there you go. That's the one that actually said he paid someone like on Fiverr to make a video. He's like, hey, I need a voice actress to pretend that they worked with Richard ReviewTechUSA. Read this script and say that he sexually assaulted you at work. He was the one who admitted to that. And then he started getting weird again and weirder. Some of you were here to see that I was very patient for a very long time. And I'm like, yeah, dude, you're getting too weird. I'm blocking you. So let him make videos and have fun. I get him sent to me. I don't even watch him, though. People are like, Rich, this guy's saying this about you. Okay. Quantum TV saying shit about... Like, it's the internet. You know what I mean? It is what it is. If I sit there playing whack-a-mole, which I used to do. I did. If I sit there playing whack-a-mole with everyone putting up disparaging shit about me, I'll never make videos again. There were days I used to do that. I know, this is going to take 7 hours, USA, but that's okay. There were days I used to skip uploading content to try to figure out, like, what I could do legally with, and then I just stopped. I'm like, this is stupid. I'm playing into exactly what you want. They're hurting my livelihood. They're still gonna they're hurting my reputation more because I'm putting a spotlight on it. So that's why I just let them, to a point, okay? Let them say whatever the fuck they want to say. You know?
Like Jackie had given him the confidence.
Yeah, this is not, I'm going to warn you now, there's not going to be as many lulls in this. Because this shit gets dark.
He needed to do just that. As on April 12th, 2010, Chris traveled to his old stomping grounds with the goal of patching things up with Snyder and lifting the ban. He entered with his camera hidden in his pocket in order to secretly record the encounter for Jackie. When Chris approached Snyder, he initially tried to be cordial as he asked if they could patch things up.
Is this the part where he talks about how he tried to hit the guy in his car? Didn't he try to hit this guy Snyder in his car?
And end the suspension. Unfortunately, Snyder was having none of it, as he simply responded no to his request. Chris immediately got frustrated as he began pleading with Michael to change his mind, insisting that he turned over a new leaf and deserved a second chance. Snyder stood his ground as he told Chris to leave, which he eventually did, but not without getting the last word.
The dude who banned me his name is Michael Snyder, possibly a Jew considering the last name. Nothing bad against the Jews, but I'm just throwing it out there.
It's not.
I'm not saying that to be anti-Semitic. I'm just being anti-Semitic. Like, what is... So obviously you're saying it. I mean, but again, Chris Chan is so out of it that he probably doesn't even realize. Like, but Chris, you're saying, I'm just telling you this thing. Take it how you want to take it. Of course it means you're being anti-Semitic, you douche. I recommended looking up Charlie Z. The man is completely out of his mind. Send me a link to it, dude. We'll watch that too, if we can.
Not entirely clear where this sudden bout of anti-Semitism had come from, since
his parents. It all came from his parents. Everything. It's still speculation. Like I said, I wasn't one of the many flies on the wall of his house. But watch. Just watch.
Since Chris had not said much about Jewish people in the past. Around this time, Chris was also making more...
Why does he look like he's busting a nut right there?
More of an effort to find new Gentile friends, with him attending a local music festival called Fridays After 5. The miscreants quickly learned about this and started going to the festival themselves in
What are with those poses?
order to secretly photograph Chris and observe him in the wild. What was immediately apparent was that he was trying to phase out his classic sweater/medallion style, instead favoring a denim vest, t-shirt,
Okay. He's wearing a sports bra that says "Want Woman." That is not a shot at the transgender community, but you damn well know that Chris Chan, who was not transitioned yet at this point, was hoping that covering at the time man titties, he was telling people, man, come have sex with me. That getup is not the way to do that.
My jaw's hitting the ground.
Peak, man. Not that I would look any better in a sports bra, but yeah, dude, I'm just review sports bras USA.
Sunglasses, and dog tags, similar to the outfit worn in his Rollin' and Trollin' video. Beneath the shirt, Chris wore a sports bra on which he wrote the phrase, "Want Woman."
I must have just gotten into Elden Ring and it was farming ruins and missed this part.
It's important to note that Fridays After 5 was advertised as a family-friendly gathering. While at this event, Chris would also make the effort to pick up ladies. However, he preferred to go about doing
with the shades on it. He looks like he's posing.
This in his own unique Chris Chan way, as he still lacked the confidence to simply approach them and start up a conversation. According to some trolls that were there, Chris would oftentimes use a zoom
What's up, Alex? Thank you for being a member for half a year, man. That's awesome.
lens attachment for his DSi, as a makeshift telescope to spy on potential mates from afar.
You know what makes it it's like really funny but really tragic at the same time? This is almost like a comedy skit you would see in like Adult Swim. Like this is what they would write and put together like as a parody for someone. Obviously this is not but because Chris Chan is so out of it, he thought this was like, hey, I'll spy on women. Oh, there's a woman. Hi, look at me holding up my DS with a makeshift zoom on it. Do you want to have sex? Oh, my God. There's not enough weed in the world for this.
On another occasion, he reportedly tied a note to a small rock and tossed it towards a woman he was interested in. These tactics ultimately proved unsuccessful. On the evening of June 4th, 2010,
it was unsuccessful, I'm shocked.
Had a few too many drinks at a bar after attending Fridays After 5. In his drunken state, he decided to drive down to the game place with the goal of taking a picture of Michael Snyder to use as a dartboard. When he arrived, he stood outside and began taking pictures through the window. Snyder immediately noticed and called the police, who arrived on the scene soon after. As he watched the police approach, Chris ran to his car and tried to drive off, but was forced to stop when Snyder chased him down and Chris almost ran him over. As Chris talked to the police, Michael had made a post about the incident on his Facebook.
Christian is in my parking lot right now being grilled by the police. He took pictures of my daughter and tried to run me over with his car. They witnessed this, and I bet they still do nothing about it.
Schneider's prediction seemed right on the money, as Chris was only told to delete the photos he had taken, and was otherwise free to return home with nothing but a warning.
You're welcome.
A couple days later, Chris made a video addressing his run-in with the law where he proudly admitted that he took a picture of the store owner, but stated that he had no intent.
Why would you be taking that's stalker, dude. But again, now the dad is, or we know that that's the spoiler alert. Everyone knows that Chris Chan, if you're watching this, you're probably privy to Chris Chan's dad passed away. And you know what's weird, as much as obviously he had issues too, Chris Chan's dad. Look, you have to see the hoarding that they lived in. It seemed like he was the very mentally unfit glue that kept him from at least going completely down the rabbit hole.
Intention of taking any photographs of his daughter. In addition, he also claimed to have not been intoxicated, as he had only had one beer. Yet again, Chris ceased all video production and made yet another effort to keep a lower profile online. That was until the trolls began to mess with his greatest love, video games.
Alex, thank you very much.
Hey, yo, Joe, you got nothing going on for you, because you know what? I removed it.
Back in May of 2010, Christian had been informed by his former sweetheart, Panda Halo, that the miscreants had bugged his PS3 several years prior, which was how they had hacked into his...
Okay. Is he humping the PlayStation? He absolutely is humping it.
PSN account so many times. The device that Panda pointed to as the bug was actually just the Wi-Fi antenna, but this did not stop Chris from posting a video in which he proudly showed off that he had removed it. When he realized that he had once again been tricked, Chris decided to take matters into his own hands. He created a new alias for himself by the name of Jenkins Jinkies, which he planned to use in order to infiltrate the miscreants. Chris did not start to fully utilize the new persona until July, when he went to the Quickie and created a page called Coffee Place. He wrote about his distaste for the staff at a cafe he regularly visited with his father Bob, commenting on how he believed the employees would often discriminate against them for being white. Not wanting the trolls to catch on to his true identity, Christian pretended to be a 14-year-old boy who had witnessed a recent confrontation between Chris, Bob, and one of the managers. Shortly thereafter, the miscreants quickly welcomed Jenkins Jinkies into their fold, knowing full well who he really was. Upon joining, Chris...
This is what happens when you're a... This is beyond autism. There's many people I know that... 99% of people that you know that have autism don't do anything remotely close to this. But combine that together with his lunatic parents, lunatic parents and the fact that Chris Chan is not mentally stable, and he had all the time in the fucking world. Solid Crusader, what's good? All the time in the fucking world to get into these fantasy worlds. It was just a recipe for disaster.
Chris was informed that Jenkins Jinkies was already being considered to join the inner circle of the trolls. This would reportedly give him administrative privileges to Encyclopedia Dramatica and the Quickie, as well as making him among the first to know about any new trolling schemes. But in order to join this exclusive club, he would have to film an introductory video about how much he hated Chris.
And you know that he's like, imagine sending Chris Chan on a secret mission. You know he would, hey everyone, Chris here. I'm totally not on a secret mission, I promise. Send him to spy on someone at like Macy's, shopping for clothes. Oh, don't mind me. I'm not really spying on anybody. I'm actually clothes shopping. Do you like my Sonichu pendant?
In an attempt to conceal his identity, Chris filmed the video in a thrift store so the trolls would not recognize the background of his home. As a disguise, he lowered his voice and wore a t-shirt over his head. He also talked about how much he hated Chris due to his abuse of the social security system and dislike of men.
He is a lazy slob. The money is wasted on him. He doesn't have to work for this money. Damn.
Yeah, you told, man, tricked me. I have no idea that that's Chris Chan.
Damn him.
It's just, the physique, the way, this inflection, like you're not even using a voice changer, man. You're just going, I'm totally not rich of ReviewTechUSA, even though you can still see my man titties. Oh my god. If this wasn't true and someone made it up, I would tell them the story is too fucking corny.
And also, he is unfriendly to us males. He should be friendly to his males. Really ticks me off.
Wait, is he in a McDonald's bathroom? Imagine you walk into his shitter at McDonald's and you see him with a shirt on talking to a camera. Yo. But dude, because he kind of sadly is metaphorically. Like imagine you're walking in, I gotta take a shit, and he's like, I swear I'm straight. I want to see a vagina. And I'm just pitching out a log and going, this is entertainment. There were some guys singing like some fucking R&B song. Totally off key one time, and I was taking a shit in a Walmart a long time ago.
Once posted, the miscreants invented a form named the Trollin' Train and informed Jenkins Jinkies that it was the top secret club for only the upper echelon of their secret trolling society. Chris's first act of business was to create a backstory for his character in order to be more believable. He claimed that his real name was Junior Jenkins, and that his family had recently moved into a house across the street from the Chandlers, and included a detailed explanation as to why he was not gay. For seemingly no reason, Mr. Jenkins told a long story about how he had been raped by two boys at a summer camp when he was just 7 years old. A few years later, he and a male friend decided to have sex in order to see how it felt. Chris described their encounter in great detail, ending with Junior being disgusted and throwing up. Even though everything written here was fiction, Chris had just created a shockingly explicit story involving minors. Some speculated he'd done this in order to humiliate the trolls by implying they were all gay. Others wondered if this was actually Chris expressing some repressed homosexual urges, or maybe this story was more autobiographical than he was letting on. As time passed, Chris continued using Jenkins Jinkies to mess with the trolls in any way he could think of, with them happily playing along.
Lotion and Fanta. Jesus. Who drew these?
On one occasion, Christian revealed that he had thwarted a plot by the miscreants to hack into his PSN account and corrupt his video game save data. It should go without saying that this was not a real plan and was only thought up by the trolls to make Chris think he had defeated them, but he still took the opportunity to praise himself on the Jenkins Jinkies account.
I have to hand it to him. He makes it frustrating to troll him. It's like we have to pay airfare.
And the fucking tissues all over the floor. Jesus Christ.
Or hitchhike dangerously and do it old-fashioned with accordion cameras and shit like that.
Later, Chris learned of another troll plot to dig up the grave of his beloved dog Patty. Using his persona, he nipped this plan in the bud by making up a story about Junior Jenkins going to scope out the gravesite.
I personally took a closer look at Patty's grave. It is harder to break in than Fort f***ing Knox. The body is buried deep underground with cement blocks covering the site, and her heavy doghouse is on top of those cement blocks. I wouldn't be surprised if they cemented her grave as well. Also, the site is heavily surrounded by trees and heavy branches. It's like deepest in the mine shaft with cave-ins happening all the time.
He apparently decided that this would not be enough of a deterrent to keep the potential grave robbers away, as he later made up another story about how the ghosts of Patty guarded the Chandler house alongside the spirit of younger Chris, as if to imply that he felt his younger self had died.
I have encountered the spirits of young Christopher Weston Chandler and Patty protecting the Chandler household. I warn you all right here and now, stay away from his house and Patty's grave. It is not worth it to have to suffer the nightmare that can render you as damn silent as the autistic child. And Patty is definitely not friendly to our dark kind.
On August 27th, Chris posted a video talking about how, due to a miscommunication with Sony technical support while trying to reformat his PS3, he accidentally deleted all of his save data. Surprisingly, he said he felt relieved by this, as if a huge weight had been taken off his shoulders. After so many years of trolls hacking into his PlayStation account, there was a certain poetic irony to the fact that it was Chris himself who ended up destroying it. Coincidentally, at this same time, Clyde Cash posted on the Troll and Train forum.
Oh god, good. Clyde Cash is back.
Offering an over $9,000 bounty to anyone who could steal Chris's PS3 and film themselves destroying it. Chris decided that, since all of his data had been wiped from it anyway, he would destroy the console himself and collect the prize money as his final revenge against the trolls. Originally, he planned to...
Oh my god. They basically tricked him into breaking his own PS3, and yeah, he did it. Oh, man. Oh, wow.
To do this while disguised as Jenkins Jinkies. However, he ultimately decided to do it as himself in order to fully savor this victory as his own. In case anyone was unconvinced that it was thoroughly destroyed, Chris later uploaded a video of himself running it over with his car, and another of him stabbing it with a pair of scissors. As you can imagine, when he tried to collect the money, Chris was met with some pushback. He was directed first to Surfshack Tito, who he was told was in charge of the miscreants' finances. Tito claimed that Chris was not eligible to claim the reward as the rules explicitly state that the PS3 had to be destroyed by a troll. The autistic man fired back by saying that he had made the video in collaboration.
The best is he actually thinks that, yeah, dude, a troll is going to honor their word. Good luck with that one.
With Jenkins Jinkies, and after some debate, Tito finally relented. They agreed to meet at the Chick-fil-A in the Fashion Square Mall, where Chris was told an agent of Tito's dressed in a pickle suit would deliver the money.
What is with the fucking pickle suits? Am I missing something with that?
Chris waited for nearly an hour before realizing that nobody was coming and returned home. He then emailed Tito, assuming that it was just a miscommunication, and arranged a second meetup. This time, the Nickelodeon cartoon character told Chris that his agent would be a woman with a tattoo of a pickle on her breast.
Why? Why would a woman get a... Imagine a woman going to a tattoo parlor and be like, yeah, I want a tattoo of a dill pickle on my breast. Why? Because it has an emotional meaning.
Chris returned to the mall the next day, and once again he waited for nearly an hour, but no one ever showed up. Upon the second duping, Christian emailed Tito furiously, accusing the troll of ripping him off and demanding he simply deliver the money to his house. In a turn of events, Tito claimed that his agent had been at the mall and had accidentally delivered the money to a different Christian Weston Chandler, implying it to be Liquid Chris.
Did I hear a pickle on her? Yeah, she's gonna have a tattoo of a pickle on, and he believes it. Oh my god. I mean, minus the horrific ending, Chris Chan is a troll's dream come. You could just mold him into whatever you want. Unfortunately, you'll see why I say unfortunately later on, but the thing is, the best part about it is that they did a whole thing where they had a ploy in the previous video where Chris Chan was going to meet a woman at the mall, and some dude, like, they were having a date, it wasn't real, and then some dude in a pickle suit shows up and steals his girl. You can't make that shit up. That happened.
With this, Chris Chan finally realized he was being strung along and gave up. There was no money, and there never had been. It was all just another prank to make Chris look like a fool. After this ordeal,
and they succeeded.
The defeated man traded in $100 worth of games to GameStop in order to afford a new PS3, despite him claiming earlier that he was moving on to a new chapter in his life by destroying the old one. In addition, he also retired the Jenkins Jinkies persona out of fear that the police may mistake him for a real troll and arrest him. Throughout 2010, Chris for some reason continued talking with Jackie on a somewhat frequent basis despite all signs directing him to the fact that it was just another troll. They had gone back and forth on whether they should begin dating or just stay friends. But on September 13th, that changed when Chris posted a video declaring his love for her. In this upload, he also flipped through a slideshow of drawings he had made depicting what their first date would be like.
Yeah, that's also put that in the book of dating advice that will not get you laid.
But the glare from the camera made it so that these were impossible to read. After this video was posted, Chris received an email from a man calling himself Robert Paulson, who claimed to be
from Fight Club. His name is Robert Paulson, and he had no idea. It is very sad in a way. I said that from the beginning. Yeah. And you know what's weird is that you'll see something interesting with some of the trolls. Even some of the trolls were like, yeah, this is kind of sad, and we're going to, like, try to help this person. You'll see.
Jackie's real-life boyfriend.
Oh, yeah, dude. Obviously, some trolls are funny, but yeah, most of them have problems that they're looking to manipulate and control other people, you know? There's a troll named Lord Silly Nipples.
He included a nude picture of her to prove he was telling the truth. When Chris confronted her about this, Jackie claimed to not know anyone by the name of Robert, and concluded that it must have been her jealous ex-boyfriend, Lars McNulty. Jackie told Chris that she was worried about Lars, as he had apparently proven himself to be dangerous in the past. She asked him to make a video intimidating the violent ex so he'd back off, which Chris quickly agreed to do. The video depicted him smashing a model of the Titanic made out of Legos.
You know what, in a weird way, because it's so fucking weird, it would actually scare me. It's like, wait, this grown-ass man is crazy enough to think that I'm going to be intimidated by him stomping on Legos to stay away from his girl? Then he is actually fucking nuts. Like, that wasn't ironic. He actually meant that. Yes, okay, he's insane. I'm going to stay the fuck away from him. Maybe he has a point.
Since Jackie had told him that Lars loved collecting model boats. She also requested Chris say the line, "Consequences will never be the same," a reference to Jesse Slaughter, another trolling victim from that era. Upon uploading, Chris received another email from Lars, this time including a picture of a black man that he claimed to be a photograph of himself. Chris posted another video in response to this, once again threatening Lars and stating his belief that the man in the photograph was not really him. But Jackie was quick to inform her protector that the person in the picture was indeed Lars McNulty. On September 29th, Jackie told Chris that Lars had recently sent her a model boat he had made out of popsicle sticks and a condom, and she asked him to make another intimidating video to get him to back off.
And she got fed up with all the goddamn boats all over the goddamn apartment. Half of them not even taking out their baggage.
Yeah, man, that probably hurt, too. Even with socks on, that would still hurt. Like, what? Maybe that was the most gangster thing that Chris could have done. Yeah, I'm gonna go get more coffee. I'll be right back. shit. I got some packages. I let the... What is it called? The saying where you let something slip out? I was looking. I got Game Boy games, the launch games. This is baseball. This is tennis. Then there was Super Mario Land, Tetris. And I think I said this right. I got this too. So that video is someone asking if another video like that's coming. Yeah, we're doing the Game Boy next. I think my editor is partially because when I do those videos, I don't script them, but there is some stuff my editor wants to script. So I'm excited for that, man. And the Game Boy did come. It's in really good shape. So I also am going to do a video on its own of the Game Boy camera. This is not my full audience, so I could talk about this here. Probably shouldn't, but fuck it, I'm an asshole. Then we're going to do, like... Probably not one on the... No, not on the Pocket on its own. I might do one on the Game Boy Light. That's Japan only, but maybe. That's a maybe. But then, like, we're going to do the Game Boy Color. I consider that a next-gen system. It was kind of like the 32X of Game Boys, but it was still actually successful. Then there was the Game Boy Advance, going to do that. I have all the Game Boy Advances. They work perfectly. I can't find the fucking chargers for them, so I had to buy new ones off of eBay. So, a lot of shit coming, man. Sorry, VCS. A lot of shit coming. Hey, Rich, can you be my dad, please? Yes, the birds have said yes. Yo, DBZ King. And Patrick, thank you for the wiener. Yeah, the names. I think Billy Mays gets brought up here again, too. I was like, as sad as this was with the... And then Billy Mays said Chris Chan, and I'm like, what? And you know what's funny, too, is I know Art, when he was writing the script, or when, I don't know if he paid someone to write the script for this, they changed, like, Chris Chan goes from, like, being a chef, and this has nothing to do with his gender, the now transgender woman, the now Sonichu artist, the now, like, Chris Chan has, like, 8 billion different hats in this, just because, and I get why they do it, because you don't want to always refer to him as Chris Chan when you're writing the script, because it gets repetitive, but it's so funny. Like, you'll see. Anyway, if I could hit the play button, that'd be great.
Because you just bought them for the sake of buying them. I mean, you mofo. You even bought ridiculous paint.
Find it funny that it's complete, or mostly complete in box, the Game Boy that I bought. The Game Boy I got from 1989 for this video. It's right in this storage container right down here. Looks in better shape than the supposed new in-box Wii U that I got when I made that video. Yeah, it is very well done content. No, I'm not taking anything away, but when you, I guess because it's such, when you're writing this script, like, you don't want to keep saying Chris Chan, Chris Chan, Chris Chan. It's like, if I did a review and I said the game every, like, other sentence, the game offers, the game does this, the game does that, you don't want to do that because then it's repetitive and boring. So as someone who has written stuff before or just put videos together, not to this level, but reviews and shit, it's like, yeah, I know what they're doing. And Shigeru Miyamoto does crave me.
Try to relax your anus.
Accessory kits for boats. You didn't even own. You paid for a whole bunch of useless stuff you're never gonna use anyway, you jiving turkey. Yeah, I call you a jiving turkey, mofo.
I actually got a Game Boy Pocket. It's green. It was reshelled. It's actually pretty cool. I bet alone me making a video on that, because I actually think it's interesting. Probably just making a video on that.
That's what you is, yo, jiving turkey. Jiving squash, shoot that old turkey.
Wait, did he just say something really, 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 really shockingly racist? Hold on, let me just confirm.
Condom. And she asked him to make another intimidating video to get him to back.
I fell down a hole! Yes, I do have the original Game Boy, but I wanted to get one complete in box for the video. Everything I want to show complete in box. I want to do, a Virtua Boy video. I have a Virtua Boy, but it's broken.
Back off.
And she got fed up with all the goddamn boats all over the goddamn apartment. Half of them not even taking out their package. Because you just bought them for the sake of buying them. I mean, you mofo. You even bought ridiculous paint and accessory kits for boats you didn't even own. You paid for a whole bunch of useless stuff you're never gonna use anyway, you jiving turkey. Yeah, I call you a jiving turkey, mofo. And that's what you is, yo, jiving turkey. Jiving squash.
He maybe said turkey, I can't tell.
Shoot that old turkey.
Okay, I think he said turkey, not what I thought.
As this drama continued, Jackie also told Chris the story of how she had gotten pregnant with Lars's child when they were still...
No, it still looks super small. I have a micro too. That's going to be another video. There's a lot of things coming. I won't announce them like on my main channel because I don't want people to be like, what the fuck? But they're all, and I have them there.
Dating. Upon learning of this, Lars forcibly aborted the fetus by making her drink what she described as a Haitian voodoo potion. With all this buildup and all their history laid out on the table, the stage was set for Chris and...
Yeah, it is very disgusting. And the other thing that's disgusting too is that you'll see, I guess you watch this already, Google Fish, the parents borderline enabled this, you know, and where he got all his homophobia from and racism from and all of that shit, that's from them. Absolutely.
And Lars to finally speak, which is exactly what happened on November 6th, when the two of them had a lengthy phone conversation.
Yo, who did it? Yo, this be Lars and shit. Who did?
This is Christian.
Yo, Christian C. How y'all doing, dog?
Well, I know what you did do to Jackie a while back. You bought her coffee and killed the unborn child.
Y'all know about getting tormented and shit, ain't you? Tormented for your differences and shit.
What the fuck is going on?
I got pretty much tormented for my autism and slow-mindedness that has happened to me before. But I ain't like that. I have respect for my black man, and I have respect for you.
Did he just say, I have respect for my black man? That is like the first thing a racist says. Oh, God. He's going to say next, I have black friends. That's the other line they go to.
You, man, because we cool. And I enjoy the comedies. I enjoy the TV shows I get from the black man.
You can tell me.
From the black man. Oh, man.
Bro, y'all really want Jackie or not? Or y'all want your video games more than you actually want Jackie, if you want Jackie. You can be honest with me.
I want Jackie, and I want to be able to keep my video games.
While all of this was occurring, the love interest used her position as Chris's sweetheart to do what pretty much every other catfish had done before. Convince him to make even more embarrassing videos
of course,
of himself. The sheer volume of these was unmatched, as not even Ivy had gotten Chris to make a fool of himself.
I'm dying to get that up-spec monitor. I ordered it. But I know they're having supply chain issues. China for a while went in lockdown because COVID, it wasn't really a surge, but if there's like one case in China, they like shut down the whole fucking country. So I want that thing, man. I think it's cool, and it's self-powered right from the Series S too.
Self on camera as...
Especially now with my Elden Ring addiction. Now I want the Steam Deck. I was almost tempted. I didn't do it. I held to my principles. I was almost tempted to buy it from a scalper on eBay, but not only do I hate buying anything from scalpers after my Wii U scenario, I just know. What's up, Jake Randall? But dude, yeah, Jake Randall, I was just talking about, I want that up-spec monitor for the series. I have it ordered. I talked to the company. They're like, oh yeah, we know. We want you to show up the case too, because I will make a video on it. So yeah. You know, like, oh, we sent you a case too, so show that off if you don't mind. We saw you ordered it, and but they're like, there might be supply chain issues. Of course, there is supply. I want that fucking thing because I would love that, man. I could just plop my Series S anywhere. I tried one from another company. I won't name. It wasn't good. I'm hoping this resolves that.
Many times as Jackie did. A few highlights include a video of Chris dressed as the Dragon Ball Z character.
He has blackface on.
Mr. Popo, in which he wears black.
Yeah, dude, that thing looks crazy. It looks like the final product of the rough drafts I've tried from other companies that I won't name here, Jake. It looks like they got it right. No, and he meant it as blackface, didn't he? He meant it as fucking blackface.
A video of him pretending to give birth to a teddy bear, and one of himself making spaghetti, which he had to mime since the kitchen was still too much of a mess to do any actual cooking in. October of 2010 commenced Jackie's naughty, no-trick, all-treat 31 Days of Halloween contest, in which Chris was to make a video dressed as a new character every day for a month. While he failed to meet this goal, he did produce a fair number of videos for the contest, each more ridiculous than the last. A couple standouts include one of Chris.
And it's the only thing I have a concern about, Jake. Now, they said that... That's what Upspec said. They said you could just fold down the screen and HDMI CEC will shut off the console. However, even if you power off, shut down, not rest mode, but shut down the series consoles, don't they still run background operations that the fan... I actually always feel a little slight bit of warmth from the fans. So that's the only thing I'm like, which is no big deal. Just leave the screen the hell up. Who cares? But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it does actually shut it down.
Dressed as the McDonald's mascot Grimace while singing about living with autism, and another of him transforming into Chris Chan Sonic Chew. Despite jumping through...
Yeah, and it's not anything wrong unboxing HD95. Sorry, dude. What the fuck? Is that his body painted? I've seen this before, actually. Yeah, so I'm not sure how that would mean. It's not like a lot of air is coming out. It's only like, it's not like it's like lukewarm. But that can't be good for the screen to just get the brunt. I don't know. But the thing is, it's no big deal. Just leave the screen up if you're going to have it out. And here's the thing. If you're carrying it, because I have a case for the Series S, if I want to carry that away, you're going to have it unplugged. So the fan's not going to spin without power. But I'm thinking if you leave it in one spot and people think, oh, I'm going to close the screen to shut it down, that may not be great. I'll have to ask him more about it after I get it, though. I mean, I don't have the thing right now, so it's all speculation. Yeah, I want to check on that because I don't want people to end up screwing up their screens or their Xbox, I mean, again, if you're using it portably and you're carrying it in a case and you're not going to have it plugged in. You could close the screen, no problem. But if you're going to keep it plugged in, that may be a concern. So the commanding officer, thank you very much. Yes, and Fantazen, you're right. Rich, don't ask why. Ask why not at this point. Dude, it's incredible. He painted
through all these hoops.
Wait, did he block his door? No, it's just open, and there's just so much clutter in the way. I thought he blocked his door so his dad couldn't come in and see him. That wouldn't surprise me.
And humiliating himself time and time again, Jackie was still not satisfied with Chris's offerings. They began fighting, and eventually, in November, the two of them decided to break.
They began fighting. Like they actually had a relationship.
break up. Jackie asked Chris if he wanted to just be friends, but he stated he was still interested in leaving the possibility of a sexual relationship on the table. After this, the couple stopped talking for a while as Chris took another well-deserved break from the internet, choosing instead to spend his time volunteering at his church and taking care of his father, who was recovering from colon cancer surgery. Chris did actually vanish from the internet for a few months after the Jackie saga. Nonetheless, he wouldn't be gone forever, and it seemed as though he was taking this time to discover a little bit more about himself. On February 25th, 2011, Jackie emailed Chris to wish him a happy birthday and to check in on how he was doing. It took her...
Looks like the video a serial killer would send somebody, or a confession that they either made beforehand as like a manifesto or after. It's pretty creepy.
Former boyfriend an entire month to respond, but when he did, he had some big news to reveal. He'd recently started referring to himself as a tom girl. Basically, this was the opposite.
I remember before Chris Chan came out trans, there were videos of him putting makeup on, and I'm like, this is the same guy that was super homophobic? That's strange. I remember just thinking, like, for a person who would, like, despised, supposedly, which you always know what that means anyway, but I never thought he would film a video. I would believe it. He was doing that behind the scenes, and that's why he was so, projection is always the path to truth, but I would never expected him to make a video. But then again, he's Chris Chan. Of course he makes a video. Yeah, Jake, good point. I'm Quantum TV. I have a wife. I'm totally not gay at all, closeted in any way. Yes, I am. I'm not. I don't know. Well, I don't know that, but it's just I've always noticed that throughout my life, or the people who spelt it, dealt it, or whatever. People who smelt it, dealt it. That's the saying. Oh my God, someone farted. Yeah, it was me.
Opposite of a tomboy, rather than a woman.
I don't know what Robert Smith from The Cure looks like. Hey, Rich, thanks for making sure I won't sleep at night with that screen image. It's just funny because I'm just saying I remember around this time, Abdullah, and I remember being like, isn't this the guy that's super, super, super homophobic and he's putting makeup on? There's an interesting thing, Abdullah, that's telling later on, though. You'll see from the parents.
Woman who dressed and behaved more masculine, a tom girl was a man who dressed and behaved more feminine. Chris had begun growing out his hair, wearing nail polish, and even pierced his ears. He made sure to stress that this did not mean he was gay. He just enjoyed the style. Christian also sent her a series of pictures of his new look, which were of course leaked to the Quickie. He confronted her about this, as he had sent those pictures in confidence, but she deflected, blaming a recent hack on the PlayStation Network for the images becoming public. Chris quickly apologized, and stated he just wasn't ready for the world to see him like this. Even his own parents were not supporting him. His cancer-riddled father had called him homophobic slurs, and his mother had tried to forcibly cut off his hair and told him, "I didn't raise a daughter."
Gee, I wonder why he's racist and homophobic, and you can't tell me man, imagine what was being said behind the scenes. And Chris did probably have these repressed urges knowing how they were, and he was parroting what they said and kept it suppressed. I mean, I already assumed this, but you can't assume that. You don't know them, but come on.
In fact, Chris's close relationship with his parents was becoming quite strained around this time. In further emails to another gal pal, he told her the story of how he had planned to travel to Maryland for the video game convention MagFest a month prior. However, when he told his parents about it, they became livid. They seemed to believe that Chris would be tearing the family apart just by leaving for a few days, and his mother...
This explains, if this is all true, which, knowing Gamer from Mars, he did his research, but it's, again, I wasn't there, so I always try to give the benefit of the doubt. This is a big part beyond the autism and mental illness that Chris already had as to what made him lose this. He's a grown man. You let him drive. He's going away for a few days, and you say that you're going to kill yourself? I heard that he's had a seriously messed up home with his parents encouraging all his bad behavior that wasn't in regards to his sexuality. I don't know if they encouraged it, but they enabled it by doing absolutely nothing. The only time they seem to have cared was when it affected them, at least from what I'm seeing from this documentary. He showed the house and let's be nice, but it's still, this doesn't even begin to describe a disarray. I'm cutting down the internet like I'm cutting down a tree. But him posting that, I made fantasy comics to suppress my urges to rape a woman that I know, which is pretty much what he said. All that they knew about other stuff too, because the documentary tells you that, and there's no way you can't. When he's sitting there in his room like moaning and singing and stuff, they didn't hear when they were both all still there. Come on, don't tell me that. That's a lie. That's an absolute lie. They were stuck. No one lives like that. If they're like, everyone has problems. I have issues. All of us here have our own demons. That's just how, you go through shit. But no one lives in that condition like that if they're mentally stable. And then you have Chris with autism and his psychological issues and everything else going on. And he probably was always transgender. That's why I kind of take back I know the trans community kind of disavows him because they think he transitioned to be a woman because he thought that would maybe get him laid. Nah, I really think he was now. I really think he always felt that he was. And he just suppressed it because his fucking parents were more than likely racist bigots. Where do you think he learned all that from? Yeah, that shouldn't have ended like that. I won't agree with that one, Google Fish. I won't agree with that one. But I do agree that they neglected him. Telling your grown son autism, I understand he has special needs, that you're going to kill yourself because if they did, but I do feel that they did. Allegedly say that you're going to kill yourself if your grown-ass son who is pushing 30 at this point leaves for a couple days. Come on, man. That's lunacy. That's insanity. He was living in a dirt-infested insane asylum. And being as mentally that was a breeding ground for the disaster. This is a horror movie. It's really not funny. There's crazy things that I make jokes about, but it's really this is like the setup for like a horror series of movies.
Even took it a step further by threatening to commit suicide. The stress and drama of the past few years.
No, it seems like he always felt that he was transgender. And he suppressed it because he knew, or she knew now, I should say, that the parents would have reacted that way. So I take back that Chris Chan just became transgender and because he thought it was going to get him laid. No, he probably really was.
years had clearly taken a toll on Bob and Barbara, as even the idea of their adult son leaving their sight for just a weekend was enough to send them into a frenzy. When the new Tomgirl lifestyle did become public, Chris was sent a link to a troll-created site called Tomboys and Tomgirls of Virginia. Chris quickly joined under the name Kooky Dashy.
They really made a site? Yeah, people have way too much fucking time on their hands, man.
And introduced himself as a heterosexual tomgirl, although it wouldn't be long before he began to think of himself as a lesbian instead, despite the—
Yeah, I've been saying this for ages, and like I said, Blockbuster Critics been saying it even longer. Chris Chan, they need to be in a mental health facility. He can't do anything for himself. No way. You could tell Chris Chan that tomorrow that Batman's coming to visit them, and he will dress up like the Joker and think that he's going to fight him. Like, I'm going to go piss real quick. And I'm like, I'm going to be having dinner soon. When that happens, we'll take a break, and then we'll come back. We'll finish this and maybe some Elden Ring, depending how long it takes. But let me go piss. Yeah, but they didn't have a chance in hell. Chris Chan. They didn't. Chris Chan had the worst psychological issues to have in a home like that, where the parents have psychological issues and they're, at least from what we're seeing here, they were borderline neglectful. This is before Barb had any kind of dementia. This is before the dad was sick. You know?
The fact he still identified as a man at this time. Chris also said he had recently started using the woman's bathroom when in public, which had resulted in a quote-unquote stereotypical male brute yelling at him. Despite this, he stated he was still planning on using the woman's room as long as he was wearing a skirt. As this was all going down, Chris and Jackie somewhat rekindled their relationship, although to a lesser extent than before. This basically just resulted in him making more embarrassing videos for her, albeit these were much more sexual and disturbing than the ones prior. For example, Jackie told Chris to make a series in which he took his blow-up doll on a date, pretending it was her. In these videos, Chris danced with the doll before driving it to McDonald's, eating their food together, making out, and finally becoming intimate. Chris would later admit to having enjoyed being bossed around by women, which would explain much of his past behavior. By July of 2011, Chris's profile on the Tomboys and Tomgirls of Virginia forum was leaked to the Quickie. He took the opportunity to introduce himself fully to the other forum users, and lamented the fact that the trolls had once again tracked him down, not realizing he had been talking—
Imagine seeing Chris Chan fucking a blow-up doll in public. This is insane. Imagine seeing Chris Chan with a shirt over his head. I am having a voice like this. I am straight. I hate Chris Chan, and I'm like, and I'm just like, dude, what the fuck are you filming in here? I just want to take a dump.
Talking to trolls this entire time. Some of the other forum members offered to help Chris track down the miscreants and bring them to justice. They began sending him what they claimed to be personal information on some of his most prominent enemies. This would be the start of the next big story arc in Chris's life, known as the Calling Out Saga. You see, with the information given to him by the TTV forum members, on August 6, Chris began making a series of videos threatening the miscreants. Obviously, the information he had was completely false, but he took it at face value. His first upload targeted Surfshack Tito, who Chris claimed was really named Don and lived in Michigan. In addition, he showed a fraction of a picture he believed to be of Tito. The Sonic Chew creator's demands were for Tito to make a video apologizing to him in the Wallflower, and to send him $1,000 in unmarked bills. This final...
Was he really trying to extort a troll? Was he really trying to extort a troll? Yes, he was. I can't, man.
Final request would soon be walked back as Chris learned that it would technically count as extortion. That same day, Chris made another video calling out a troll named Thorg, who was allegedly the one who had leaked Chris's Tomboys and Tomgirls of Virginia profile to the Quickie, as well as being the one responsible for posting embarrassing images of Chris to a publicly accessible billboard in Times Square back in 2009. Just like with Tito, Chris claimed to know Thorg's real name and location, and showed a fraction of his picture. He demanded Thorg place a statement on the Times Square billboard clarifying that he was not a homosexual, and to leave it up there for a week. This request would also be walked back a few days later when he learned that the billboard was no longer active, but he still demanded a...
I'm just picturing Art like conducting an orchestra as he's reading this.
Public apology regardless. For both Thorg and Tito, Chris set the deadline for August 31st. The revenge...
Yeah, this was kind of malicious to do to Chris Chan.
Revenge-filled Tomgirl's next target was Alec Benson Leary, or as he called him, Christopher from Texas. His demands for Alec were simple enough. Apologize for the copyright infringement he had committed with Asperchew.
I think I heard this before. Bro, you wanted a copyright for because he's copying Sonichu, which you pretty much just changed the color of Sonic the Hedgehog and ripped off. Oh, son.
It seemed that Chris's opinions on Alec were on a pendulum. One day he might be friendly with him and try to make peace. The next he'd be angrily calling him a hack fraud ripoff artist. The first of these trolls to respond was Tito, who uploaded a video in which he pretended to be terrified of Chris and fully gave in to his demands.
I didn't even mean to stop it at that. Yo, the amount of dedication, those are some major man boobs. The amount of dedication, I can't talk with a straight face with these fucking tits staring at me. Like, you just think about all the fucking things. You could have cured cancer, some of these trolls. You could have worked and saved money, got an extra job, invested that money in the right kind of stocks or in an IRA. You could have farmed a bunch of fucking runes in Elden Ring. Still would be a better choice of time than whatever the fuck we're looking at right now. Pepperonis on mozzarella. And your wife just walked in. Just tell her you're watching really weird porn. It would make more sense.
And I'll get you the money. I'll get you the $1,000 and the interest. Just don't release that video with the picture of me. Just don't do any more, man.
The footage he used
was Mr. Pregnant. Titties like a woman. Titties like a woman. I got titties like a woman. Titties like a woman. Titties like a woman. I got titties like a woman. Titties like a woman. I gotta show you the video. It'll take a second. So you understand, because this is like real OG YouTube shit. Like, there's probably some people here at 19 or 20 right now. You may have just got potty trained when this shit was out. Mr. Pregnant. There we go. 15 years ago, this video. So if you're 30 now, that'll show you how long. If you're 30 now, when this video dropped, you weren't even able to drive yet in the States. Your wife commented. She was like, "What do you look? Watch this shit. This is OG YouTube, Abdullah." Yeah, you were 13. So that means you're almost pushing 30 down. That's how old this video is. So you need to. Yeah.
Titties like a woman, titties like a woman, I got titties like a woman. I got titties like a woman, titties like a woman, titties.
Yeah, now you're 30, dude. This is a long. YouTube's been around for a long time, man.
Like a woman. Whoop whoop whoop. I got my man boobs. Titties like a woman, titties like a woman, I got titties like a woman. I got titties like a woman.
Yeah, so what were you, 6? You were 6. That's you're 21. You could drink. Don't drink and drive, but you could drink, you could drive. Dude, you're a full-grown adult, and you were 6 when this came out.
Woman. I got titties like a woman. Titties like a woman, titties like a woman, titties like a woman. I got titties like a woman. I got titties like a woman. Yeah, yeah. Titties like a woman. Titties like a woman. I got titties like a woman.
That was pretty much YouTube content back in 2007, I think. 2006. Mr. Pregnant. Then he got strange though, because then he went to he tried a bunch of other crazy shit, and then he kind of went philosophical and serious, and everyone's like, wait, what?
Was actually of a YouTuber named Mr. Pregnant, but Chris had no problem believing it was really Tito.
No!
He told him that, as long as he received the money, no personal information would be revealed. Apparently, he had forgotten that he had rescinded that demand. Thorg, on the other hand, was not convinced. Chris decided...
But dude, that was in Mr. Pregnant's defense, that was 2006. That was a different era. The fact that people were filming shit was like, whoa! It was kind of like the Game Boy in 89. You know, you went from Tiger handhelds to Game Boy and all right, yeah, baseball, as far as I remember, this sucks dick. But it was whoa, it's an actual baseball game with not the they had the LCD on the Tiger Electronics that wasn't even dot matrix, so it was just pre-made art. It wasn't even a fucking game. So this was mind-blowing. The fact that people were recording content themselves and uploading it was mind-blowing. Quality be damned, you know?
To make an example out of him, as he revealed his full name and picture on August 12th. Several weeks...
You started recording on your iPhone 4? What did I start with? I started recording on... I actually have it. The ZI6.
Before the deadline. The thing was, this image he believed to be of Thorg was actually just the popular meme, Butthurt Dweller.
This was actually the popular meme, Butthurt Dweller. He's also known in the orgy scene as Lord Silly Nipples.
This did not stop Chris from brutally mocking his appearance as well as lecturing him for his atheism. Much like Thorg, Chris revealed Alex information before the deadline. Like everyone else, the picture Chris believed to be of him was actually just another meme. This time, it was of the YouTuber Fat Man, who was famous for making videos in which he ate obscene amounts of food. Christian decided that the best way to rub salt in the wound would be to devour an entire microwave pizza on camera, mocking Alex's videos. Next on the chopping block was Jack Thaddeus.
There's so much Chris Chan lore, like if you blink for a second, sober or not, you like go from one point of the earth to like fucking your anus in 10 seconds. And it's just like, wait, where did we go?
Chris revealed his real name to be Ahuvia, who in reality was an infamous online communist and another frequent target of trolls. Chris was also informed that Jack was in fact transgender, which he berated him for. He said that despite being a tomgirl, he was proud to be a man, and would never get gender reassignment surgery. He also told Jack that, even if he did transition, he would not be considered a woman as he did not have a uterus. Chris's final target was Blue Spike. This time, the person believed to be him was a young man named Ness Helper, another favorite of the trolls. Chris requested an apology from Blue Spike, and also demanded that he make people stop shouting memes like Jule and Ian Brandon Anderson at him. It seemed as though Chris forgot that—
Dude, it's like trying to understand Souls games lore too, because I'm obsessed. I've been looking into it, and I still don't like. This all is so insane, and to Art's credit, he is trying to make it digestible, but I'm still farting and getting indigestion because it's so much. It's so much.
Try to relax your anus.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why I did that.
Ian was started by Liquid Chris, not Blue Spike. At this point, even though all of the intel was completely false, Chris believed that he'd finally gotten the upper hand on the trolls who tormented him for years. In Christian's mind, this was his greatest victory yet, and he was going to savor every moment of it. The thing was, a tragedy would soon strike that would cut the calling out saga short, and shake up Chris's life in the worst way possible.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's recording.
No, zero, Abdullah. Zero.
So, here we are around the Christmas tree. We're gonna open presents.
Hooray, hooray.
Okay, well, first off, I have a card from my family. Your father, you read the card.
I see. I want to thank you all for your support and love throughout my fantastic love quest. Pooey.
Did he just have his dad read his fantastic love quest? I need it. Yes, that's his actual voice.
On September 6, 2011, Bob Chandler passed away after a long battle with many health problems such as a heart condition and colon cancer. Chris talked to Jackie about it over email the next day, in which he told her he had gotten no sleep since his father's death, and that he had taken up Bob's responsibilities of handling the household finances. He also told her he
that won't end disastrously.
Was having trouble making sense of it all, as in 2009, Chris had a dream in which the Grim Reaper told him his father would not die until 2015. Even the trolls mourned Bob's death. From September 10th to the 19th, the quickie was shut down and replaced with a screen in memoriam of the family's patriarch. For about a month after his loss, Christian would take another break from the internet. In the time following Bob's death, Chris and Barbara had a great deal of difficulty coping with his loss. Not only had he been the primary financial provider for the family, but he had also been their rock, the stoic head holding them all together. Without his guidance,
that makes sense too, because if you really think about it, the whole Chris Chan saga seemed to really go off a cliff after he passed.
The mother and son began to feel alone and vulnerable. It was during this time period that Barbara allegedly began demanding that Chris sleep in her room so she could call upon him if need be.
If that's true, that's really fucking weird. And it explains so much. I don't know, but they all seem to live on different planets. This is more proof of that.
Whenever he tried to refuse and return to his own bedroom, she would reportedly become enraged, destroying her son's possessions until she got what she wanted. Clearly things were going poorly for the Chandler family, and it wouldn't be long until a new controversy dragged them back into the spotlight. On October 28th, as Chris and Barbara were shopping, they noticed a banner outside the game place, stating that it was now under the ownership of two people named Mike and Madeline. They were curious if the sign was referring to the manager of the store who banned Chris, and as a result, the mother and son went in to find out. Unfortunately,
oh shit, yeah, I forgot it. I heard about this last night. I forgot this was in
it was
here.
his arch nemesis that had purchased the business, and almost immediately after they entered the establishment, Snyder had arrived on the scene and tried to remove them. As they were being escorted back to their car, Chris pulled out his 3DS and hastily took a few pictures of the man.
Maybe I understand Chris Chan not having a phone. But what's with the what's with the DS consoles?
This resulted in chaos breaking out between the three of them. While we don't know the exact details of this battle, it resulted in the police being called, with Chris getting charged with a Class 5 felony.
Why is Homer Simpson
after hitting Snyder with his car? While this was happening, Barbara reportedly stepped in and tried to stop the police from arresting her son, resulting in her being charged with assaulting an officer. They were both sent to jail, where they were bailed out the next day by Chris's pastoral counselor, Rocky Shoemaker. A few days later, the two appeared in
this story. Holy shit.
court where they were formally charged. The now fatherless autistic Tom girl also received 2 additional charges.
You see what I'm saying with the names now? The now fatherless autistic Tom girl, the comic book artist, the sex addict who humps dolls.
Charges, assault and battery, as well as trespassing. Their lawyer was a man named Rob Bell, whom they had hired using the remainder of the inheritance Bob left for them, which Chris recalled to be in the hundreds of thousands.
And for something so stupid, they had to waste it on lawyers. Unreal.
December, Rocky Shoemaker received a call from a troll who was pretending to be a court-appointed psychiatrist in order to get more information about the case. She was initially hesitant to talk to him, as she had apparently been receiving a number of suspicious phone calls as of late, but it didn't take long for the troll to start getting information. He asked if it would be possible to schedule a meeting about Chris's mental health at the Chandler house.
It's like if Art said, like, if he was doing a biography on me, the bird kissing, chronic masturbating, small penis live streamer. That would be the name that he would give me. Next paragraph. The large entertainer with a large hairy ass also got into a spat with Keemstar.
But she advised against
cucumber sucking. That is true. Not sucking. I did not suck the cucumber. I chewed on it.
Due to the increasingly dismal
What's up,
state
PS1
of the
Freak
property.
26?
According to her, not only had their hoarding problem gotten significantly worse over time, but they had also been infested with insects. It had gone so bad that in Bob's final days, he had to be quarantined in the hospital due to the sheer amount of bug bites all over his body.
Jesus, imagine living like that. Imagine living like that. That's surreal, man.
With the court case ongoing, Chris decided he needed a new way to vent to the world. This was when in January of 2012, he made his Facebook account public and began writing several posts detailing his worsening mental state. In one of these ramblings, he told the story of how he had recently gone to the Fashion Square Mall in order to distribute flyers warning people to stay away from the game place. As he was taking a rest at the Starbucks, a security guard approached him, holding several of the flyers in his hand. Chris quickly fled out the back through the JCPenney.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Despite the security guard
That's still harassment.
telling him he wasn't in any trouble. Later that month, he made a post asking people to help him track down his former friend Megan Schroeder, as he had come to the conclusion that she was the one responsible for everything bad that happened in his life.
That look of, please get the fuck away from me, and I don't mean to make a joke, but it is funny. That look of, please get the fuck away from me on her face is worth millions of dollars.
Hey everyone, I have most urgent news. It is final in my mind and from my mother as an on-air witness of her consorting with Michael Snyder long before November 2007. Megan Schroeder is the seed of the whole hate and smear campaign against me on the internet. If any of you all know where she is or have clues of her or her brother John Schroeder current whereabouts, please inform me on this wall. Post haste. She is needed brought to me, my mother and our attorney, for great questioning and a huge piece of my mind.
A couple days after this
Now my ass is in her. I'll give you one.
Now my ass is in her body.
The way he says ass, he almost sounds like Beavis. Now my ass. Oh no. Like, listen.
Now my ass is in her body.
Ass. It's like, now my ass is in her body. And he also got this from there.
Kung fu my fucking ass.
I wonder if he says that to his wife, like she puts a strap on and DSP's just like,
Kung fu my fucking ass.
yes.
coherent message to Facebook, Christian would publicly share what he believed to be her home address, although it was quickly discovered to be false. As the day of sentencing grew closer, Chris only became more anxious and depressed. On March 31st, he made a post about how he was worried he would spend the rest of his life in prison, with his greatest concern being he would die a virgin. In response, a woman named Renee offered to get Chris in contact with a prostitute, which he happily agreed to. Only a few days later, he emailed the Facebook user
Megan used to get Chris to buy Nazi memorabilia for her off the internet? Sure, I believe it. This is getting more insane by the second.
Thanking her for the help and described his experience. The escort he had hired was a woman named Mia. They met at a motel, and although he was put off by the fact she smelled like weed, he seemed to like her a lot. Apparently, she was half Cherokee, a fact that Chris felt like he could relate to. He then went into graphic detail about every aspect of his first sexual experience with a non-troll. On July 10th,
oh my god.
Chris and Barbara's arraignment finally arrived. 2 users of the Quickie forums were in attendance to report back to their
Jesus, these motherfuckers are dedicated, man. Going to court dates,
comrades over what went down. Christian was allegedly very on edge and nervous the entire time, as he constantly fiddled with his glasses and moved around in his chair. At one point, his lawyer referred to him as an autistic adult child, which he was
which I agree.
visibly upset by, although he said nothing. In the end, they were both found guilty on all charges. Barbara was sentenced to community service and 2 years probation, while Chris was sentenced to community service, 1 year probation, and court-mandated therapy. In addition, they were required to cover the medical expenses Snyder had accrued from being hit by their car. When asked if he understood, Chris allegedly said, "Yes, but I don't think that bribing liar deserves a red..."
It's just insane. Ian Jones. It's just, it makes your head hurt because there's so much.
Sent. Chris's depressed and unhinged Facebook posts only worsened after the sentencing. An increasing number of them focused on the subject of his teenage years. He had always cited high school as the happiest time of his life, and as his situation got worse and worse, he seemed to want nothing more than to retreat to the...
And what's sad is the best time in his life was just people being merciful on him. Think about that, too. The best time of his life was just people, it was pity friendships. And like I said, it's actually a very sad story. Hi, Rich. Thanks for introducing me to these videos. I completely missed the Chris Chan part of the internet growing up. This shit baffles me. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. A lot of this stuff goes back now 10 plus years, too, where people were kids that are now adults, and they're like, wait, this was happening? This shit baffles me with each of my disbelief of these events, and it gets crazier and crazier. So it's actually, think about how sad that is. The best time in Chris's life, according to him, or her, excuse me, is during a time where people just placated to him because they felt bad. Sad.
Those happy memories. He began tracking down members of his graduating class and sending them gifts, although exactly what they were is unknown. This did not seem to bring him closer to them in the way he probably expected, though. As his posting continued, his friend list grew smaller and smaller, which only served to make him more upset. In an email
Yeah, this goes back so far, Jeffrey, and there's so much. The fact that Art was able to just do this in 4 parts. God, that woman in the blonde right there, that's such an early 2000s haircut.
To a gal pal, Chris stated he viewed his high school classmates as part of his family, despite the fact he had not seen a majority of them in over a decade. In October, Chris filmed a video with the help of Rocky Shoemaker in which he showed off a Lego reconstruction of his high school that he claimed took him over 30 hours to build. He took the viewer through a guided tour, demonstrating how he had recreated...
This is sad too.
Every room with almost all of his old teachers and classmates. The video was filmed at McDonald's, presumably due to the fact that his house was a mess.
I mean, think about it. They all moved on. They all probably have families and kids and careers. And here's Chris Chan still making a scaled Lego replica of his high school that took 30 hours to make because that to him was the best time of his life. It's pretty dark if you think about it.
On December 11th, 2013, Alec Benson Leary leaked a new house tour.
Yeah, that was like 2015, wasn't it? It was a long time ago, Yusha. What is that? There is motion at my door. Oh, someone is at the door. Actually, I got to go do something too. All right, guys. We'll do the second part of this later this evening around 8-ish, and then probably some Elden Ring after, because I know I'm going to end up playing it anyway, so I might as well have all of you tell me how terrible I am at it. And I actually got to thank a lot of you, too, because if it wasn't for people giving me guidance here and YouTube videos and stuff like that, it's now like one of my favorite games of all time, and I probably would have never given it a chance. So, even like the trolls, if someone trolled me, told me like, hey, if you jump off the horse, you won't get damage if you fall hard. And I did. So I learned a lesson. Don't fall fucking far even on the horse torrent because you'll still die. All right. So I'll see you guys in a few hours. Man, that's not. Look at the tub filled to the brim. It's so sad. So sad. I'll see you guys soon.